Nine Inch Nails have been releasing music in physical formats since 1989. In this time, they've developed a following of devoted fans that aim to collect the band's entire discography. Though much of the band's work is easily obtainable, some releases only exist in very small quantities and have been rarely seen, like Bigfoot, although these actually exist. And they're expensive.
But CD Punk, how do I know if any of my CDs are worth anything?
Don't worry, little one, I'm here to help. Take my hand and give me a kiss, because today we're going to take a look at the rarest CDs and cassettes in the Nine Inch Nails catalog. Now, just letting you know, this list does not include signed items, so nothing with Trent's scribble on it. No numbered items, so anything with a number on it. No, well, not any number, but you look at the photo, you know what I mean. That, nothing like that. And also, no test pressings for vinyls. These three categories will not be included in this episode. So let's get on with it. So first up is a Down in It promo CD, which was released in the United States. Now the disc is black with silver unprinted text, while the commercial release of the same CD is the complete opposite, as you can see here. Now the disc did not come with any inlays or documentation, so I don't really know how this was handed out. I don't know if promoters just, handed out the disc, not even in a case. They just gave it out with their grubby little fingers, smearing fingerprints all over it. Now the CD also came with a fabric sticker bearing the NIN logo. Now I'm not quite sure what a fabric sticker is, but it might be one of those glue-on patches. I don't know. Maybe it's a sticker made of fabric. I've never seen one, but okay. Now though this CD only has 3 songs on it, it does come with a hefty price tag. It goes on sale for as low as $98, but has been sold for as high as $147. Absolutely mental. But don't worry, it gets a lot worse. Next on our list is a Pretty Hate Machine sampler. Now this was a promotional cassette given out by TVT Records in the United States, and it was meant to promote the then upcoming Pretty Hate Machine album. Now there are 4 songs on each side, and on each side it's actually the same 4 songs, which is a little weird. You'd think they would just put 2 songs on each side to save some tape, but nah, fuck it. It's the 80s, man. We're swimming in money. The music industry will never crumble. This cassette tape could be found for as low as $73, but as high as $295. $295 for a cassette tape with songs that you already have. Songs that you could find off Pretty Hate Machine, which you could get for probably a penny somewhere. I'm sure you could find it for a penny. But regardless, this is on a tape, a promo tape. So the tables have obviously turned. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's rare. It's fucking hard to find, okay?
Next up is the Head Like a Hole cassette from Australia. It came in a slipcase.
Alright, I'm fucking terrible at Australian accents. I won't do that again. At least not in this video. So this is a cassette tape with only 3 tracks on it. It's actually the same 3 tracks that you would find on the UK CD version of this release. So it's exactly the same songs, but this is on a cassette. And look at the cassette. Isn't that beautiful? See-through with blue, and that's about it. But it looks so cool. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to find a price range for this item. So it could be as low as $50, or maybe it could be $1 million. Somewhere in there, in that range. That's my range. And just like the last cassette that we talked about, this one has the same 3 songs on both sides again. How wasteful. Think of all the tape they wasted. That tape could have been used to feed starving children in Africa. But no, you had to waste it by putting the same song on it twice. You bastards. So this is the Sin UK Slim Case release. Released in the UK, well, like I just said. The US version of this actually is red, and it came in a slim case just like this one. But the black slim case UK version is a lot harder to find. The more common version of this release is actually a digipack form. It has the same songs, but this one's a slim case, so obviously it has to cost an arm and a leg. Fortunately, I don't have that price range, so it could be anywhere between, the price of a finger, and about maybe a bit of your calf. Something like that. Moving on from the Pretty Hate Machine era, we march on to the Downward Spiral era. Sorry, broken fans, nothing is rare. Your copy of Fixed is fucking worthless. This is the March of the Pigs Australian cassette. It came in a slipcase, cardboard, paper bag type of thing. Okay, it wasn't a paper bag, but it came in a slipcase made of cardboard. Now this also had 5 songs on it. The same 5 songs you would find on the US version of this release. And once again, they put the same 5 songs on both sides. And there's the tape. Doesn't look as cool as the Head Like a Hole cassette, but this'll do too. I wouldn't mind having this on my shelf. And once again, unfortunately, there's no price range for this album. Okay, so this next one is going to require a little bit of an explanation, so let me do that for you now. In the United States, the Closer to God single contained 9 songs on it. However, in the United Kingdom, these 9 songs were broken up into 2 separate releases, Part 1 and Part 2 of a CD set. Part 1 was a double digipack, so you were able to put 2 CDs into it. However, it only contained 1 CD with the first 5 songs, and then Part 2 was released on a slim case CD with the remaining 4 songs. So what you were meant to do was buy Part 2, take out the disc, and then put it in the digipack, and then you could go, ooh, look at the digipack, it has 2 CDs in it. But then you would have an empty slim case CD. Part 2 would be just empty. So then you would have to buy another Part 2 to fill up that one, and then you'd have another empty one, so you'd have to buy another Part 2 to fill up, and it would just be a continuous cycle of buying Part 2s just to fill up the previous Part 2. And this made people go absolutely mental with rage. There were riots in the streets, random beatings. China declared war. Nobody knows against who, but China declared a war. It still rages on to this day. Last I heard, there are actually still people still trying to buy more Part 2s just to fill in the previous ones. And the situation just continues. It's a problem that has never been solved. NASA is actually working on this situation, but I'm going to be frank with you, not CD Punk. I don't think they will find a solution to this. Ever. There simply isn't one. I think it's quite possible that I took that joke a little too far and made it last a little too long. Sorry about that. You know what? Don't worry. I'm going to cut it out. I'll cut it out in post. None of that will be there. Absolutely gone. Consider it done. So, getting back on topic with having 2 different CDs, 2 different parts to equal 1 single, they actually did the same thing with the March of the Pigs release in the UK. So that was done with a digipack and then a slim case release, acting as Part 2. So now that you're all experts, I can get on to the actual point of all of this. Part 1 of this is actually the rare one. So Part 1 is Disc 1, CD 1, and it is titled Further Away. So the majority of the releases for Part 1, Further Away, are black, but the rare one is the white one. So if you're able to find a white CD that says 9 Inch Nails, Further Away at the top of it, send it to me immediately, because it's it's actually worth nothing, and I'm just doing you a favor by taking it off of your hands. Yes. And Part 2 is also a white disc, but this one's titled Closer to God. Now, Part 2 is white as well, but that's not rare at all. Unfortunately, there is no price range available for this one, but I can guarantee you, if I had more money than sense, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But I'm still happy as a pig in shit with a cheaper black one. See what I did there? Pig? Get it? As in March of the Pigs? Oh wait. Shit, that was the last one we talked about, not this one. Okay, well, fine. I'd be happy as a god at a crucifixion. Alright, how's that? Speaking of God, or speaking of closer to God, there's also another rare Closer to God CD. This is the South African version of the Closer to God release. It has the exact same track list as the US version. However, this one comes in a card sleeve, and the disc is uglier. There's little to no effort put into it at all. Not that the US version is that much better, but hey, it's black, and it's mostly what I wear, so we're good. So let's chill for a bit in South Africa, because it's not very chilly there, is it? I bet it's boiling hot. But regardless, they got rare CDs, so let's just stick around for a bit. I mean, we're here, we might as well. So this is the South African version of The Perfect Drug. It comes in a slimline jewel case with a folded insert. Doesn't that sound fancy? It just means it's another one of those little slim case CDs. Now, most other versions of this release are just digipack versions of this, with some exceptions. But this is the rarest version of this CD. Now, not only does it come in a slim case, it does get better than that, but not by much. The disc itself is this dark blue, borderline purple, with pink text. Now, the US version of this was just purple with black text onto it. Pretty fucking boring. And elsewhere in the UK and Australia, it was the same type of purple-blue, but with light blue text. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say that entire sentence, but it was. Now, this CD, this release, is something that we're going to come back to in a future video, because there actually is quite a bit to say about this particular release. But this particular CD could be sold for as high as $500. There's actually one for sale right now. So you could buy it right now for only $500 plus shipping. And there's a cheaper version of it for $300. So I guess that's a bargain. But this release is truly, quite possibly, the holy grail of 9 Inch Nails CDs. So once again, if you find it, please do send it to me immediately. Moving on to the Fragile era, we start with the Day the World Went Away Japanese promo cassette. Now, all this is just a cassette tape with the same exact 3 tracks as the US version of The Day the World Went Away. But this is the Japanese cassette, so ooh, it's obviously going to be worth a lot more. How much exactly? I don't know. But I guarantee more than the US version. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know the main question on your mind. Does it have the same 3 songs on both sides? And the answer? So I actually don't know. Let me look. Probably should have looked that up before starting this, huh? Just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. No worries. I just looked it up. It does not state that it has the same songs on either side. So we're just gonna say, I don't know. How's that? I'm not gonna rewrite history here. I have no idea. So this will be something that remains a mystery forever. Until, you know, whoever owns it will just be like, yeah, it's on both sides. But till then, it's a mystery. So this is the We're in This Together US promo. Now, before you flip a shit and realize you have this already, I'm going to tell you that you probably don't. Now, this version only has the radio edit on it. It's the only track on here. Now, the normal version of this, and far more common, has both the radio edit and the LP version. So because there's less on it, it's actually worth more. So less is more here. This is where that saying came from, less is more. Whoever said that was referring to the We're in This Together CDs. This is exactly where it came from. Fact. Now, you could be super lucky and find this for as low as $19. It's rare, but it can happen. Or you could be very unlucky and find it for as high as $233. It's a bit of a gap, bit of a range there. But hey, you might luck out. You might luck out if the seller has no idea what the fuck they're selling. Which would really be the case for all of these, but this one you have the best chance at lucking out on. Flying back over to Japan, we got the We're in This Together Japanese promo cassette. Now, unlike the previous cassette from Japan, this one actually has Japanese writing on it. anything with Japanese writing on it is cool in my book. I've never written a book. I've never even read a book. But if I did read a book, or if I did write one, it would be in Japanese. I can't read or write Japanese, but it would be in there. But then I would have my own book, so I can't read or write English now that I think of it. But that's for another day. So getting back on track, this is the We're in This Together Japanese promo cassette. It actually has the same tracks as part 3 of the We're in This Together single. That's right, yes, part 3. There were 3 parts that made up one single. We will talk about that in another video as well. Now that's enough of this garbage, fragile era stuff. Let's move on to everyone's favorite 9 Inch Nails era, year 0. Alright, come on, how fucking awesome is that version of this song? That's so good. Oh. So this is the Survivalism single from the Netherlands. This is a single promo in a jewel case with a front insert. Ooh. And it also has a very ugly CD. Look at that. Just text on white. No effort went into this at all. But yet it's super rare.
But CD Punk, that's not ugly enough. I want something really ugly that costs a stupid amount of money.
Well, you're in luck because this is the year 0 paper sleeve promo version released in the United States. It's ugly as sin. It comes in a paper CD envelope. It's covered in watermarks. And it actually has the recipient's name printed on the face of the fucking disc. Now, it has been blacked out for privacy. Probably so that the person who sold it doesn't get in trouble. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it has a big ugly sticker on the back, making it by far the ugliest but rarest CD on this list. So this has actually been sold for as high as $162. Wow. It just looks like a burned CD to me, but when you gotta collect, you gotta collect. You hear me? Good. So let's end it on a high note. That's actually the end of the rarest 9 Inch Nails CD releases. CD and Cassettes. So there are other rare NIN CDs and cassettes, but these are the rarest ones. I will be making a video later on in the future, I hope you'll join me, highlighting the other rare versions. But like I said, they're not as rare as these. The next video will be more obtainable releases. Something you might actually see one day, or you might actually have already. But if you already have one of these, or if you happen to find one, be sure to send it to me so that I can verify that these are the real thing, okay? So just send them to me. You don't need to worry about sending a return package. Don't worry about that. I'll have that taken care of. But I want to know, do any of you have any of these? Do you collect 9 Inch Nails CDs or cassettes? Have you got any of these? Would you spend $500 on a CD? I would have to be stupidly rich to spend $500 on a CD with stuff on it that I already have. Basically spending $500 to get a CD that just has a different color to it than the other 5 that you already have. But hey, if I had more money than sense, I would probably do it too. I mean, I could be doing worse things with the money, right? I mean, it could be going up my nose, but I think it's not that bad that I'm spending it on a little plastic disc that looks pretty on a shelf covered in dust. But what do I know? So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know what you think. And I hope you'll take a look at my channel, see if there's anything else that tickles your fancy. Check out these other fine videos, for example. Ooh, look at that one. Ooh, that's a nice thumbnail. Yes, I know. But yes, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Bye.